It's the book of Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. And it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Allah Yahweh, Shem Yahushai, Shem, Chakabash Bakatab. I say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. I say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. I say shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. So, Brother Yawasab, and I'll come at you another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This lesson is pretty much inspired through the Spirit. On the article I just say, again, I'm in that, the Lord got that Spirit on me where I'm waking up at like just not getting very much sleep. I need to probably start working back out or something. I think I did like Monday or something. Like so, I need to get more consistent and get on a routine. I mean, that's a way that you stay grounded in this truth. Brothers keep things to keep from going ape shit crazy. You know what I mean? Certain brothers into music, some brothers into art. Some brothers draw, some brothers, I think some brothers even like video games. You know what I mean? Which I mean, it's folly, but anything outside of serving the Lord is folly. But it's folly that's more what's the word? You got some wicked folly, and then you got some folly that what I mean. I don't think you might. I don't think the Lord will judge you over. Look, I mean, it's lucky for the ramble or the rant. But I read that scripture, Proverbs 29, because it says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear of rule, the people mourn." And we about to see mourning. We about to see all these different people mourning, and that's what the lesson was inspired over. Because I woke up, and, saw the brothers from Cleveland do a video, and it's funny because when I went out on when I camped last week, I went into pretty much what they're going into now. When the Lord put the Spirit on me to go look up what the tariffs was, and when you go into the history of it, it was a multitude of reasons why the Great Recession happened. One of it was because they put tariffs on stuff. The stock market crashed. They put tariffs on other goods, and you know, you got Trump talking about putting tariffs on goods now. Now the thing is, America doesn't make anything like that anymore. So if you could put tax on another nation's goods, and then the other nations could put tax on your goods. But if you don't make anything, how are you gonna get that money back? Because if I'm taxing your goods, you could refuse to sell the good. You know what I mean? The thing is this, like you gotta understand, the country is broke to a degree. Like they say at Walmart, like Black Friday didn't really do anything, and they chose to intentionally not bring in a lot of inventory because they knew the consumer didn't have money. If you remember, the news been stating multiple times this year, they like, yeah, the consumer's almost broke. The consumer's almost broke because it's all systematic. Because ultimately, like the brothers made the statement inside the video. I mean, if you can see where this is going, if you got the eyes to see, they want you in a position to basically lean on them. Just like it was in ancient Egypt. I remember the elder, my cousin Juan from Menabella said that, they want you you in a position that you be relying on them. And you got to understand with the Great Depression, after that, that's when they brought in a lot of social programs to actually take care of the people. So I can see everything crashing and they bring in that see it. But I'm speaking as a man. But to show you where things are headed, this caught my attention. Show you, I mean, and I immediately thought of Revelation chapter 13. But watch this. This shit hilarious. It says Jim Carrey said he came out of retirement. It says Jim Carrey said he came out of retirement because he needs money. He's the latest A-lister. Come on, man. It's lucky. Latest A-lister to open up about taking roles to boost their finances. So Drew Carey is pretty much a multimillionaire. You know what I mean? So if the multimillionaire's got to go back to work, he got to take lesser roles and got to keep on work. Like that tells you that this place is old with. Like this bitch is gone. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, it's not happening. Like, because the things move through the spirit before they move. And before our eyes, everything happens in the spirit. So because it's not moving as fast as we would like, or it ain't happened just instantaneously, we don't realize or we don't see. But if you're looking at it through the spirit, you can see it bitch is over with. Like, look at the morale of this place. I'm gonna bring that out. Then I'm gonna bring some of the article. Lord willingly, this is edifying. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, starting at verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof." Salakia, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim, La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chagadosh B'Katham. I'm going to say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who did teach me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives with their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening to the Lardy. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who are scattered abroad, which dwell in the lands of the other nations, which appear like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. This is the brother Yahweh Sop, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem. Through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I don't recall if I saluted or not. That's how sleepy I am, because I woke up at like 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? I think I went to sleep at like 9. The Lord been doing this up lately. But if this is the second time saluting, well, that's, for good measure, you know what I mean? Double salute, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the spirit, you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, again, I know this is the truth. And I, gotta have love for any man that's, believing in, the man at my side. That's why I'm not even trying. So not my spirit, like when I get roused up. But what I'm gonna say is this: if you believe what I believe, and you hate this place like I hate this place, then you my brother. Like the elder said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So with that being said. I mean, I don't really remember, but yeah, this shit about to be bad or horrible. That's what they was going into in the video or the lesson. But like I said, it made me smile because I had just went into this. You know what I mean? And once you really have the understanding, that's what the beautiful thing about when the Lord's supping with you, because we have an understanding. Yeah. But don't get it twisted. We about to have to suffer these things too. But the thing about when you have understanding and knowledge of something, you can deal with the suffering a lot better. Jake could lose their mind if they going through shit. Like before when I was going through what I was going through, I didn't know them scriptures about when you depart from evil, you make of yourself a prey. When the Lord snatched me up out of the world, I was presented with a situation, and I was like, fuck no, because it was so spiritual. All my life I was waiting for an opportunity like this, and then when it came, just in the spirit, I could feel the demons on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, hell no. And then to realize that I was pretty much a pawn set up for another man. That's why I made the statement about when you really look at it, pretty much majority of the aspects of Esau's kingdom, some kind of way, somebody's going to get sacrificed. This is a fucked up place. You got street culture where niggas really sacrifice their lives to that shit. If it's not prison, it's death. I remember the elder. I don't know if he's even still part of Men of Valor, but the head brother, I think his name was Gabar, warrior. But I know he's a Northern Kingdom brother, but he used to always go into the gangs, and he brought out a video. You go into them gangs, the head of them gangs be Freemasons and shit like that. Just like the head of the police department, a lot of the police officers are free fucking Masons. You know what I mean? Because it's a big ass club and you not a part of it. Verse 2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master. And ooh, that's the spirit, because I literally, again, I went into, Revelation chapter 13, talk about rich and poor. Everybody's going to succumb to this shit. Unless the spirit of the Lord is on you and the Lord got you reserved to withstand it, or to fight against it, or refuse it. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty, meaning everybody gonna be affected by this shit. And like I say, it's spiritual, because again, you got the wealthy talking about, I gotta go back to work. So this American dream is over fucking with. And the way I said, oh wit, like this shit, oh wit. You know what I mean? And you can keep on deluding yourself. The scriptures talk about strong delusion. You can keep on faking the fuck. You can keep on, a bitch would rather be told a lie than know the truth. That's how fickle the fucking female is. I was just talking to this guy about a job, and he kept it 100, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, I'd rather you tell me, the skinny. I remember when I was homeless with my demon, and that bitch was up there like, do you think we gonna ever get off the street? She was looking for a lie. I told her, it's up to the, I forgot how exactly I worded it, because I was, really wasn't into the scriptures like that. I was just suffering and not really understanding why, Although I had a Bible, like I said, going into different little parts of my testimony, but, I didn't have any understanding of the truth, because I'm still trying to hold on to, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, my whole destiny is to try to fight to get off the street and save this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, little did I know this bitch a demon. Long story short, I hit her with, I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. And I could see her spirit crack. Bitch don't want to be told the truth, so this is going to fuck these hoes head up, and a lot of these bitch ass nigga too, when it go down to like the brother was bringing out. The brother said, shit, a lot of you niggas gonna bow down when Esau do this shit. I pray the Lord put a spirit on me that I don't. Because even with, the different obstacles and temptations that you have overcome, you still got, like, that's what helps you have a better understanding of who you are, because you don't know who you are until you go through something. It's easy to say, that's just like boxers. Every boxer, just because you hit on a bag, when you get in the ring, that's a whole totally different animal. Even Richard Pryor made a joke about that shit. So, you got to be in the spirit of the Lord, praying that the Lord be with you, even because all the tests are only about to increase as far as difficulty. It's basically paving the way for the ultimate test, which is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, the hour of temptation. And you got to remember, Satan gonna come smooth with it too. Because the Lord know exactly what you, like, the Lord of jealous power, so he know what you put more time to. If you put more time to some bullshit and the Lord don't like that, he will take that shit away from you. I would say a quick testimony, like with me, I call myself trying to keep my fucking kids, right? So I put them in the homeschooling and doing all the different shit. And the Lord was setting up scenarios where, I did some shit where I pushed my evil. It was a multitude of things, but I'm not even going to hold certain individuals for accountability for it, because ultimately, we got to start learning to take accountability for what the fuck we doing. So, I play a part in that shit too. So, I did certain things that kicks the evil way, because at the end of the day, once you missing something, that's when you realize the benefits of it. When you lose something, you realize the benefits of it. So, I had to put them, basically, and then they get hard-headed, they do a little sneaky shit, so I couldn't really afford to do it like I was doing it, and the Lord was allowing me to get away with some shit for real, But I had to put them back in regular school. Now, mind you, it's a law on the books with Babylon the Great, aka America, well, Ohio at least, I know for sure, that if they deem an emergency, they can keep your kids. And that was the whole reason why I put my fucking kids in homeschooling. I'm thinking the Lord went up in me. But then I'm watching the Lord create scenarios where he's making it difficult. So I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Because they got to the point, like, these demons jumping on their ass and shit. It got to the point I'm like, I'm trying to hold, I did that last time, you know what I mean? I'm trying to fight for my kids and try to make it my way, but the Lord took my kids away. My arms is not long enough to fight against the Lord. You know what I mean? So, I said, I basically, whatever the Lord gonna do, I can't focus on that. You know what I mean? All I can control is stand and maintain this walk and this road and this path and this gate that I'm trying to enter in through. Made me think of the 8 inner gates. A brother got offended at me about that. But I remember when I asked brothers about that, the elder Apostle Tahar did a video about it. Well, he didn't do a video about it, and for those that are unlearned to it, I'm not going to go into it because that could be a stumbling block. But what made me ask is because the elder mentioned it. Like, the elder probably understand, or, you know what I mean? But, like I said, you got to be careful what you put in before Jake, too, you know what I mean? And all that comes with wisdom from learning. Certain men got that spirit of teaching, you know what I mean? I never considered myself a teacher. But the Lord has always put some things in my mouth, you get what I'm saying? So, I'm not eloquent with words, you know what I mean? I may know a big word, but I'm like Moses to a degree with the quick temper, you know what I'm saying? Which I notice a lot of brothers got that, but then also a lot of brothers have a lot of patience, you know. As fiery as the elder Apostle Tahar get, he also has a lot of patience, you know what I mean? And that's all come with wisdom, understanding, and, and experience. Salaki, I'm just all over the place, right? I should name this the various topics. But it's exciting times, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we at the break, you can feel that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just pray that the Lord keep the spirit on me that I don't buckle or break, because I don't want to be no bitch ass nigga for real. That'd be like, I remember a nigga trying to make a joke about me. Because he's like, off of, what's that, Boys in the Hood, with Cuba Good Jr. got into the car. He was going to ride with, his name wasn't O-Dog. What was his name? Ice Cube in the movie. He was going to ride with Ice Cube, and they got in the car, and then he told them to let him out. So they was just about to get into it, and then he got it up. But that one came from good parenting, you know what I mean? And then a lot of individuals looking at him like he was a bitch. And I'm like, he was like, oh, yeah, that's you go get out the car. And I'm like, but you ain't even go get in the motherfucking car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sitting up here dick riding this nigga trying to be funny and shit. You ain't about to bust a motherfucking grape. You know what I'm saying? You not going to do shit. But in actuality, we in this car, you know what I'm saying? And you can't get out the car. It's blood in, blood out. And the nigga that ran up out of the car, he a bitch, for real. Like I say, you a female, you sit while you piss, you piss sitting down type shit, for real. Like, and that's just factual, you know what I mean? Because a true man follows or finishes what he starts, and that's what make a soldier. Scripture says that our lives are not our own. We're slaves to Yahushua's will. And if you don't really see that or understand, if you don't understand what you're reading, what you involved in, I mean, like you don't understand that you are a part of a spiritual military, then yeah, you need to stay the fuck with, and we all fall short again, but we come to the times you can't fucking fall short. We need true fucking leadership. But we also need mercy, you know what I mean? Like I said again, everything that happens ain't meant to destroy you. Just take my word for it, because I'm a living testimony to that. Verse 3, the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have spoken this word. And we have true leadership through our, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. If you can't see that the Lord dealing with them men, then you probably shouldn't be a part of GMS. You know what I'm saying? If you question it, is this the truth, or if they got it right? You know what I mean? I might question a lot of things, but I've never questioned the doctrine. I've never questioned the head. The head of GMS, the elder, the apostles. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like the elder said, I've never seen them once do anything that was awful. a man tell me something, then you tell me, or you saying some other, when we on the line one thing, then, or when we amongst it's just 10 of us, as opposed to you on camera, and you say something, you know, again, this thing is constantly an examination. Because again, it's spirits involved with this. If you can't even believe in that much, like, if you don't realize we battling against spiritual principalities, you know what I mean? You got Jake probably, man, like I said, this is going to be this is the truth. And the thing is, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to earn every bit. So that should keep you humble in itself. Jake, like I said again, I noticed that, like I said, and the reason why I can recognize pride, because I'm fucking prideful. The things that you see in others tend to literally be traits about your fucking self. Why the fuck you think the Lord had to put me humble, be that low? And it was not just because of my pride, you know what I mean? But literally because of the fact, the type of demons I was around had to completely isolate me. Discernment is a hell of a thing, because again, I don't try to size no Jake up, but yeah, you know, I have done that. Jake young, he ain't been through shit, he don't know nothing. But then you can see certain ways certain Jake carry themselves that's young, that actually been through a lot. The Lord's working with everybody in their own way. Ultimately to prepare you for what the fuck we all about to face, but what you about to face personally within your own walk. And who was that made the statement? I think it was the elder or Ariala from Dallas. He said, you know, you got to understand the things you do in this truth. You know, it's just like in the trades. Like I worked in the trades before. You know, that's just like in the street. Your name means something. That's in the scriptures. A good fucking name, Salakia. A good name. Scriptures talk about a good name. So the things that you do in this truth affect you. Have you looked at? And certain individuals look at this individual. That's judgment. I look at this, or I care for this brother more because they deep into the scriptures. That don't mean shit if you're not applying the scriptures. And that ain't come from me. That came from the elder Damasha Pot. Because it's about to get to the point that you ain't gonna be able to act. Just like another brother ain't gonna be able to get you over your hump that you gotta go through to finish this race. Like I said, the spirit just switched all the way up. Because we in real serious times. And again, I give forgiveness because I want forgiveness. I'm not perfect and I fucked up many times. And that's the mindset we should all be having right now, especially when we can all see that this shit is like, boom, Trump about to bring some shit in, like the elders making it broad, like, well, you know, within these 4 years, that's the beautiful spirit the elder is. He is pushing you to keep pushing. Regardless, it could be 10 more years. Nobody want to see that. And a lot of the signs point to this dude being that guy. But, I mean, we don't know what the Lord got set up because it's all the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. Verse 4, the earth border, it's like it. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai have spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. And let's go into that word, languish. I know it goes to like your morale being weakened. Oh, there it goes. Okay, right up. Of a person or a living thing lose or lack of vitality, grow weak or feeble. These devils is draining the life energy out of everything alive. If this man ain't the son of perdition, tell me who the fuck. If this man ain't the wicked, Job chapter 9 verse 24, and you know how I say the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And it's written in the question form. If this motherfucker ain't the son of perdition, who is the son of destruction? You know, I mean, he killing people's very spirit, and that's, you know, the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, because basically they bring in an energy or a spirit of hopelessness in the world. And for those that don't have Yahweh Shem Shai, you gonna succumb to whatever the fuck the devil gonna do. So I'm gonna bring out a little bit of the article, and then Lord will is edified. Says Jim Carrey told the Associated Press he came out of acting retirement because he needed money. He stars in Sonic the Hedgehog Part 3 2 years after he announced his retirement. I didn't even know he retired. Al Pacino, Hugh Grant, Nicolas Cage, and Harrison Ford have also said they've taken roles for money. That shit fucking hilarious. So that pride just went out the window, you know what I'm saying? Scriptures tell you money, it's like it says, riches profit not in the day of wrath. You know, and the brothers brought that out. They was like, pretty much, you know, with this UBI, everybody gonna be on the same playing field. And that could be the case. I don't even hope to like have to. I remember brother was like, shit, just give me my UBI so I can do the work. That shit was funny. I looked at him like, you know, uh, you know, like I remember when my peoples, they be fucking with cryptocurrencies. Like I got a young nephew that literally like ain't no dummy. So, you know, he got his own business and shit like that. He take the business, he got a recycling business. So he take the profits from the recycling business and he put them in the crypto. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to get me off at the door. And so I presented it to the brothers, and brothers like, no, we ain't fucking with that. And I get where they coming with it from or whatever, but at the same time, the elder said if they switched everything over to you know, a CBDC, you would have to deal with that. It's the mark we basically got to refuse. But I didn't do it because temptation is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know, the scriptures talk about it's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And you know, I done did too much work and went through too much, you know what I mean, give up my crown. You know, the elder was going into the word tenacity. You know, the elder Uriah, you know, meaning to hold a firm grip. If you feel that you earned this crown, you better not let no man take it away. Jim Carrey said he came back from retirement because he needed the money. Carrey announced I read on that. In an interview with Access Hollywood in April 2022, Carrey said if the angels bring some sort of script, damn, hold up. If the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink, you know, and that's funny too because it just came to my memory. Call lawyer, blah, yeah, how much I shot. But Jim Carrey just made like a kind of he said something kind of derogatory towards the government just recently. Now, you know, we know Jim Carrey's an insider. You know, I forgot what I was watching, but they was talking about like he a high priest in Hollywood. You know, remember when Jim Carrey went on, I forgot what talk show, but he pretty much had a jacket or something talking about the New World Order, the Illuminati. You know, these people make mockery right in your fucking face. Remember when Roseanne Barr sat there and said she sold her soul to the devil? These people be sitting there presenting that shit right there. You know, that's their way of pretty much clearing their conscience. They told you. Y'all thought it was a joke. Ha ha. They actually being honest with your dumb ass. It says, in an interview with Access Hollywood in April 2022, Carrey said if the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I may continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. See, now this is coded right there. He said the angels. Why is he labeled them angels? He's talking about the Hollywood people bringing him a script. I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break right now. The break was short-lived, less than 2 years. See how cryptic this shit is? That's the spirit that I was just speaking on that, and then they literally do something right in your face. It's a reason why Los Angeles is called the City of Angels, you know what I mean? That break was short-lived. Less than 2 years later, Variety confirmed in February that Carrey was coming out of retirement to star in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Because this inflation affects everybody. But they show you how serious and more serious it is. And you got to remember, the more you have, the harder it's going to be to maintain that shit in an economy like this. You know, 50 Cent made a statement. As much as I 50 Cent, I got a love-hate relationship with 50 Cent because he's a two-third nigga, so I hate that nigga, right? But then he remind me of niggas I knew from the world that, you know, because niggas have personalities. That's one thing about Jake, you know what I mean? a nigga in the hood would be dirt poor, life fucked all the way up, but still have a sense of humor. So 50 Cent reminded me of niggas that I actually grew up around, right? So, but he did make a statement, you know, he said, like, when he bought Tyson's house, Tyson had a mansion in Ohio. And I think he said it was like 18 bedrooms. And pretty much he said it cost like, how much did he say? 70,000 a month to maintain. That's why he was shitting on Rick Ross. Like, nigga, you who cut their own grass? You got that big ass house, you cut your own grass. What you trying to do? Save money, nigga? And he probably is. Shit like that got to be maintained. And I remember the elder Abu Gabar was going into, he basically did a lesson off of the comment board, and it was going into the Financial Times. And it was an Edomite that left a comment, and he said, "Toughen up, Buttercup." That's how you know that was an Edomite. He's like, it's gonna be an interesting ride. But that's like the brothers was bringing out in that video. Esau Edom lightweight ready. He like the young Jake came out. He said he dropped off a package. And doing Amazon Flex, he said the Edomite come with the pistol in it, like you thinking you in the hood. This is in the suburbs now. This shit is like at the brink of, and it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So all it's gonna take is for all it's gonna take is for a needle to drop, and what's the word? Pandemonium. All demons is gonna be let loose. So I don't need to read no more. Just like I said, showing you the side of the times and the economy. If well, my point I was gonna make with that. So pretty much, that Edomite that left that comment, he also said, people you would think would be in the spirit of consuming less or getting less, but they still try to consume more. And the brother brought that out in the video. He was like, you got people killing themselves to try to buy Christmas gifts when this is a satanic fucking holiday anyway. On top of the fact. People kill themselves because they can't buy gifts for their family or feel left out, because that's a time that pretty much is pretty much presented as, you a loving time with your family, and you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? So people get depressed. People get depressed because they can't buy their family no gifts. Or society will make, that's better way to phrase it. Society will make you feel less than because you can't do anything for the holiday. I didn't grow up celebrating Christmas. The Lord paved my way in a lot of ways, and I didn't realize that at first, but I see it now. It was certain things that brothers go into today that I was into at 13 type shit. You know what I mean? So the Lord really do be setting you up. I remember the elder Micah Olive from Ancient of Days. I salute that brother. Made a statement. He was like, he used to go to the little Bible study. He was like, he used to freak off with the little girl there. He was like, but he appreciated the Lord doing that, because he was like, pretty much, he was like, a lot of the little things he knew coming into the truth, and put him a leg up over other men. That was the Lord paving his way. So, as you can see, the Lord about to create very, very difficult times. What's that? Ezekiel chapter 7, evil and only evil, behold, has come. Evil, compound word, Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. Bad times, it's already here. But things are going to get worse. What the elders say is going to get worse before it gets worse. Because it's always darkest before the light or the dawn. So, we about to come into difficult times. And that's all in preparation for you to basically prepare you in order to walk the road to get to your crown. That's all in the book of Revelations. You know what I mean? You got to go through some things to get your crown. I was listening to the elder Itazawal from Atlanta. He said, ain't nobody see walking into no chariot. You know what I mean? You ever seen the war movies where, Jake trying to get back to the extraction point, and a man might lose his legs, and this man literally go back, and this man literally ain't got no legs, but he still got back to the helicopter. They try to administer help and first aid to him while he ain't got no legs on the helicopter. You got a vision type shit. That's gonna be the chariot too. I can't think of the dude's name. I need to, the Lord to be sending this one individual's podcast. I guess he was in the military, and he go into a lot of war, real account of wartime veteran testimonies. And every time I come on, I don't listen to it. But that's probably the Lord trying to give me something, because brothers use different things to motivate them. There was one guy, he was part of a Navy SEAL team, and he was talking about how it was this one Edomite. He pretty much got shot 12 times, but he going to look for his brothers. You know, that's why this is likened onto a military for a man that calls himself this. That's why I say it's funny. Jake said up here talking about a brotherhood. You don't even, do you understand? You don't leave no man behind. Shit like that's supposed to be addressed. Because I would never leave no man behind. And then when you start putting thoughts that, I understand that Satan fucking with you. But it also, like I said, it helped me to look at and realize, don't be disappointed. Because I imagine Yahweh Shah was disappointed when, the 12 was falling asleep on him. I had a Yahweh Shah moment. Call Loyam La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Rakhakotis. Because the thing is this, you got brothers that haven't experienced that yet. And how are they going to react when they have to experience it during a time where they wasn't ready for it? This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 14. Verse 13. It's up, ain't it? I'm going to start at verse 1. 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night before. The night of 4. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra's, and hear the words that I have come to tell thee. And that's spiritual because he was asleep, and the Lord pretty much sent the angel, woke him up. And I just woke up, like I say, so when you wake up, just a suggestion, I forgot who said this, but that's when I started getting the spirit to try to do it. Somebody, and I know I saw a video about it, and I know the brother Kadash from the Cleveland Cap, he did a video about it, about the 4th hour, and how Yahweh Shah did a lot of his miracles in the 4th hour. And like I said, it's so cold how the Lord do things, because when I grew up, we always looked at between 12 and 3, or, those hours. We were told they was called the witching hours, because always kind of weird shit happened. I used to be, used to get high. I used to run the streets. So, I would always see little weird shit around them hours, though. You come to find out, it's not a bad thing. I remember the elder Yashawaba was talking about when he used to see the number 666. I think he said, beginning in his early walk in the truth, he was like, and at first he used to bug him out, but then he started to embrace it. I used to go through that same shit. I think I just recently saw it sometime earlier this year. When I was going through my testimony, I remember I went to go buy something, and my change came back 666, and the cashier looked at me like she didn't want to give me the money. I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, nah, the spirit had me saying though. And I'm talking about, I'm a nigga. I'm like, oh, I'm still have a good day. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, what the scriptures talk about chastisement is of the Lord. Hebrews chapter 12. You can't just read these scriptures but don't apply them. Verse 3. And I said, speak on my power. And the thing is this, the Lord is merciful. So he, when you first coming in, like brothers say, you in that zealous spirit, you up here trying to rebuke your family, and you up there, like they was talking about the elder spoke on that. The elder brother arrived, basically went to the church in Columbus. I never knew that. That's an austere, beautiful brother, though. I salute that brother. I would love to find that brother page. But maybe the Lord will give it to me. But because I hope that brother's still teaching the truth. I can't see. You can't count Jake out. You don't know what I mean, and then that shows you a lot when you just disregard Jake. But at the same time, this is a war, so I understand that aspect of it as well. I can't. The truth is not going to stop because you chose to leave or go do your own thing or whatever the fuck. But if the Lord, again, this ain't no joke, like this thing is go. If you ain't developing no tough skin by the end of it, shit, I don't know what to say. Like it says, and I said, speak on my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, and it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrances were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he go into the broad? So pretty much, if you ain't going through something to achieve it, you know what I mean? The Lord ain't just gonna gift you this. You gotta understand, and I used to make this analogy you know, like when I was first coming into the truth, because the Lord let me understand that. You got to realize what we're asking for. We're asking for rulership over the planet. You asking for spiritual powers. You asking for the kingdom of heaven with all your desires being fulfilled. Why the fuck would it be, like it's supposed to be the most difficult thing. You supposed to be, when you take the time to think about the Avengers Endgame, you know, that guy, I can't think of his name. He a great fucking actor though. I like him. He played in No Country for Old Men. That's a good ass movie too, if Jake ain't never watched that. But long story short, Thanos, his will was unbendable. That's why he made the statement, I am inevitable. The end of Esau's kingdom is inevitable. You know, and you gotta have that mindset, like that unbreakable will. Thanos was willing to pretty much he sacrificed his daughter. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, because of how austere he was, his daughters didn't even recognize how much they loved him. I mean, he loved them. You know what I mean? Well, he loved the one more than the other, which that ain't off. I remember my brother told me that shit. He was like, people would try to say that they ain't got no favorite, but he like, I got one. And then another brother in the truth told me the same thing. And I'm gonna be honest, I got one. Cause you as a parent go see certain things within what shit the fuck, you know what I mean? Like Jacob had one. What are you talking about? So I mean, it says verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things, the kingdom of heaven. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. Verse 8, and one only path between the both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. And when you go into that, that's we gotta enter single file. I've heard Jake make the statement, I'm gonna trip you in order to make sure I got my place in line. Jake going the fuck off. Because the thing is, we got to enter, that's a spirit because the elder was just going into order. Everything is in the order. The heavens is in the order, and you got to be in order in His truth. And we all got to be subject. Who just said that? I never watched Snowfall, but I've been watching like snippets of it, like certain little snippets of it. I don't know if I want to watch it or not. Like Jake was sitting up there talking about, oh yeah, it's based on Ricky Ross' life, and it is. What they did was they took aspects of different. It's dramatized, so they don't want to pay Rick Ross, so they pretty much he had to sue him, I think, but. They gonna say, oh no, they ain't come from his life because it also came from parts of John Singleton's life. If you didn't know that, but the guy Franklin, he made a statement. He said literally because I guess when his uncle and his uncle's Eve pretty much, they was like pretty much moving most of his shit. You know what I mean? So she the basically the uncle's Eve, the uncle sold weed and she sold coke. When he got put on, when he got the first package, he didn't know how to move it. He went to her and she helped him move it. So she already was the hustler. So she basically had the clientele to push the shit. She was tired of moving it for him and wanted to, pretty much go out on her own. And he up there, he got the plug, but she literally moving it. So he like, well, the thing is this. She like, I don't want to be up under nobody. He was like, I'm sorry to tell you, but we all got to answer to somebody. And we all do. You got to understand your position. You know what I mean? That's an important aspect of this truth as well. Uh, Verse 9, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, If he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And if you can't overcome and become a champion, because the word champion means to overcome, you know, are you even deserving of it? Now, the merciful, beautiful part about the truth is eventually all of Israel will receive the kingdom. Your position in the kingdom is determined by, you know, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. But that ain't even by happenstance because only the elect is going to endure to the end, and receive them crowns. It's deep. It's deep. I'm gonna go to you know. So that's what the only way to actually receive this inheritance, to receive the kingdom, is to go through the straight gate. This is the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 14. Because the straight is the because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You go into this word straight.
Strong's G 4728 Stenos. Stenos.
Narrow. Probably from the base, narrow from obstacles standing close, about straight. Huh. I used to remember it being more of a definition that went into the fact of it being difficult, to trouble, afflict, distress. So narrow.
Strong's G 2346 Thlibo. Thlibo.
Said go through the straight gate because narrow is the way. And when you go to that word narrow, it says to press hard upon a compressed way, narrow, straightened, contracted. Metaphor to trouble, afflict, distress. You know, it's not gonna be an easy, like the elder said. You ain't just crip walking. It's electric slide through or to the chariot. But you got to also think about it. What's gonna make it so beautiful? Because when you really earn something, like I was listening to the elder Gabar going to they was it was the elder Gabar and the other elder, and they was going into how he was talking about like with Tyson. And Tyson was pretty much like, Tyson always said how his built was garbage. He didn't care a fuck about his legacy, which show you how humble Tyson really is. Because Tyson had a rough life. That's why I got offended for Tyson when that bitch ass nigga Charles the White made the statement. I can't I hate that nigga. I hope the Lord do something to that nigga like. But it's not my time. It is the Lord time. But the Lord gonna definitely do something to it. He one of them slick tongue snake oil salesman type motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like this nigga, the police slash gangster slash, like that's the type of nigga he'll be doing a Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger, I didn't think was working with him like that. Whitey Bulger had a childhood friend that was pretty much corrupted, that was worked for the FBI. But I'm trying to think of like who really worked for the police but was like a big boy. I know it was in that movie Rock and Roller. In that movie Rock and Roller, his dad was the police, but he was the boss too. But scriptures talk about, which I'm gonna bring up the final scripture. Basically the point of the lesson is showing you that it's pretty much gonna be, you know, Revelation chapter 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that charagma and that right hand over their forehead. So, like I said, these individuals that supposed to have wealth are suffering and go have to conform. You know what I mean? You got to remember what they about to do with this Elon Musk and this Department of Government Efficiency is meant to break the people. If the budget is $6 trillion and they about to basically cut it by 2, pretty much, what programs are they going to affect first? I remember when Bush was in office, Bush cut a lot of programs. He was given, like, I was listening to the brothers make the statement. He was like, pretty much, if the state wasn't on board with what Trump's migrant program or his immigration policies is, he's going to cut funding. Bush did the same shit. Only the cities that, like, Bush personally went to every city and pretty much met with, whoever. And if you wasn't on board, he cut your funding. The ones that was on board. I remember when Bush was in office, the city of Cleveland was tight on, it wasn't funded. The city of fund for programs and certain shit. Like, if you ain't have a skill, you could go through the city and they'll pay for you to learn the skill. I went through this program. I had a apprenticeship, a union apprenticeship through the city program. If you never went through the program, they would pay for, like, you go look at the different programs that was offered and the city would pay for it. So it was like totally free. They cut that year. They had cut it. Well, those years they had cut it because they like, shit, the government that gave them our money. Just like right now, the government is not giving out a lot of funds for PIP and HEAP and all that shit. So they want the people desperate. I got my kids in this bitch. We using the heat at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to keep my heat bill down to 60. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. Because I already know, like, say, you can't even depend on, like they supposed to have emergency help and all that, but you can't even depend on that shit. Everything is so tight. And then being that I really don't have brothers, you know what I mean? Like, I'm strictly with the Lord. I mean, but the thing is, I'm not really nervous either. You know what I mean? Like, I know the Lord's still dealing with it. Like I said, long as you trust in the Lord got you. You never know. The Lord might have the elder might fuck around and bless me. You know what I mean? You never know. I can hit the lottery. Anything happen. So I'm gonna end the lesson with this Acts chapter 4. Ooh, that's even better in the NOT. I'm going to read them in both, though. This is Acts 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. And that's what brothers constantly doing. We are meant to try to encourage one another. Even if it's through rebuke. But, the elder has said something too. You got to learn, just like you got to learn to wield the sword of the scriptures, precisely. You know what I mean? Because you can cut yourself with it, or make yourself look stupid. You got to learn, not to be so heavy-handed when you dealing with younger brothers. I remember the elder apostle Rabla made a statement. He was like, pretty much, he was in a certain kind of spirit when he first came into the truth, and he was like, pretty much, the elder apostle Tahar, because they always have known elder apostle Tahar to be austere. He was like, pretty much, he could have broke his faith. And he didn't. That come with wisdom. Like, that come with true leadership. You got to learn to discern when to judge, and when to give mercy. The scripture says the spiritual man judge of all things. You know what I mean? Like, just like I can judge that I don't think I need to be the head of shit. I've heard certain people. What I told the brother was years ago. I said, shit. And brother laughed at it, but I was dead serious. I said, shit, if I was the head of it, I'd be like, let's go get him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck everything up. You know what I mean? So at the end, I mean, being funny, but being serious. You know what I mean? The Lord know what He's doing. And sometimes the Lord uses individuals, even somebody that you might look down upon, to correct you. You know, that should show you something right there. Pride puffeth up. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. I'm going to reread it in the NLT. Where they strengthen the believers, they encourage them, exonerate, to continue in the faith. Because this is all we have. You know, if you really truly in the spirit, you're not looking at, you know, you ain't looking at what you can do 5 years from now. Shit, I'm looking at this shit might be over next year, because I know a lot of people about to be disappointed for that. You know, I don't know if this gonna be the year the income tax. You know, like I said again, you got to look at it like this: the Lord can keep this shit going as long as He want. I get what the elder said, because when it came to me, when I got to understand it, I'm like, well, damn, you got to think about the elites control the bitch. They control the money. The Lord keep the spirit on them. They can keep on printing this shit. Like they said, they can still do another round of stimulus. That's how powerful the American dollar is. I forgot the name of the brother's channel. He was going into the economy. That's how you know this the truth. The Lord got so many cold individuals that you could pretty much learn information from. You know what I mean? Like, call lawyer, blah, y'all, about y'all shot for this truth. Because if you a real seeker of truth and justice, you know, you go really appreciate it. That's why I say again, it hurt not to be around brothers. And I never thought it'd hurt like that. But it hurt, so that, you know what I mean? I ain't no complete demon, huh? You know, but I appreciate that the Lord didn't take the spirit away from me. Where they strengthened the believers, they encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of the Most High. So you better keep that in mind. You know, on the spirit, I was trying to think of what I was going to do when I go do my camp this week, and the spirit gave and revealed it to me. Because, you know, literally, this ain't about to be no cakewalk. The Lord about to try your very spirit, brother. Or brothers. So I pray that the Lord just pretty much, you know, strengthened the spirits of the believers to be able to endure that hardness like a good soldier. You know, that the Yahweh shall watch over and protect His remnant, His elect, and their families. Watch over and protect the elders and apostles first and foremost, who gave us this truth, and the fellow believers. And with that, I want to say, call lawyer by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakados B'Kathab. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appear like the other nations, but subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwab Yasharallah. Wa Athla Baboa.